Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of rokrbox TV. My name is Josh Cunningham. I'm the founder and CEO here at rokrbox. Today, we've got a wonderful client success story with us. Joining us from Calgary, just north of the border, we have Nadine Beaucage. I promised I wouldn't butcher that, but I probably did, didn't I?
That's all right.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Nadine. My French enunciations need some improvement, obviously. But Nadine is actually been in real estate for 23 years, and of those 23 years, her team has been a 14-time winner of the Century 21 Centurion Award, as well as 5 times individually. So quite a big hitter here, and we've got some exciting tips and strategies to share with you today. So Nadine, why don't you kind of take it away and give us a little background story on your 23 years in real estate. How'd you get started, and what's your career looked like so far?
How did I get started? Well, I got started by accident. So it was like, it just came out of my mouth, and I said to my mom, I'm going to be a realtor, so I'm going to move home. I'm not going to pay rent, and I'll buy a house in 6 months. And she said, okay. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I better go figure out what I have to do.
So I guess you anticipated a little bit of resistance to that dream, but there was none.
Yeah, I didn't even know what I was saying. So, sometimes that's the best. Yeah.
That's awesome. And so you stepped out and started your career as an individual agent. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. When I started, teams weren't big. Teams really became big around 2005, but in Canada anyway. So.
Gotcha. So you were doing your own production for several years. And then what inspired you to actually start rolling out the team model? And when was that?
Again, that happened by accident. One of my other agents we were just having lunch, and I just said to him, we should become a team, because he needed more time off, and he had kids and I didn't, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll work together, and it worked out awesome. Teams are the way to go.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
That's awesome. And how long ago was that?
That was in 2005.
Okay, 2005. So you partnered up and started what began as a team. And
Yes.
and then let's talk a little bit about your business. Where does most of it come from? Back in 2005, when y'all just teamed up, was it mostly were you mostly working your database? What other lead sources did you have?
Actually, I've been, and my current business partner, Alicia Ryan, we are database people. So 97% of the stuff we get are from our database, past clients, and realtors across Canada. So I have quite a big database that way. But when you get into running a team and you get more newbies on the team, we looked for another source of income, because quite honestly, like, our databases, we can handle it. There's a lot. It gives us a very good lifestyle. But I need to leverage, because now I have kids, and Alicia's kids too. So that's why we looked into lead generation from like randoms. We'll call it randoms.
Yep. Yeah. So I just want to kind of back up here. First of all, to be able to have a business that is so heavy database driven, it obviously means that you're delivering an outstanding level of service, because in order to get referral and repeat business, you got to be delivering on the goods, right? You can't just be kind of shoveling people through the process. So that's outstanding that you've been able to build that foundation. But what you're talking about here is, how do you then create leverage in your business and be able to escape, spend time with your family, spend time with your kids. And you got to do that through some other sort of lead sources. And so talk to us a little bit about how you got into generating online leads. How long ago was that, and what was that process like?
That was a slow process.
Mm-hmm.
That was, start with your website, get some CEO or SEO going. And it's like, if it's not your full-time job and it's not your passion, even when you find people who say that they're really good at websites, yes, they are. But it's a different thing to actually have the goal of getting leads from a website.
Yeah. So you had some bad experience by not working with the pros. I always love the quote: if you think it's expensive to hire a professional, you should try hiring an amateur, right?
That's what we learned. Yeah. We did. We did team up with CINC.
Commission CINC. Yep.
Yes, and they are phenomenal. So the way that they run their website and how they get leads, they're incredible. But if you get 100 leads, or actually it's more like 200 leads a month, There is no way that I have time to do it. Alicia has time. Like, there's 4 of us on my team, and there's no way we can handle 200 inquiries a month and filter through. So that's when we did hire someone to do the conversion for us, and that's where we learned a really hard mistake. And now I know what to look for when you're hiring someone to do the conversion. Because first of all, the conversion is where it's at. If you hire CINC and you get all these leads, but you're not converting them, it's pointless. And this is where, and I love you guys, so this is where you need a rokrbox, because I've tried other ones and they actually didn't know how many calls you have to make, how many texts you have to do, how much time it actually takes to put into just someone sending an email in to actually conversion. It is 10 calls. It is 10 texts. It is constant, like relentless and, dog on your pant leg kind of follow up and really diligence.
Exactly. You said it best there. And just to kind of summarize here. So again, you've built this wonderful, business as an individual. You partnered up with another top agent. You started building a team. You had a great high level of service. So you're delivering on all your promises. You're getting all this repeat and referral business, but you're now trying to grow and scale a business. So you need to go out and find other lead sources. But the problem that a lot of teams run into is, like you said, you run into just some random person that's building a website for you. And it's not a company like Commissions Inc. who actually has, the end goal in mind, which is to help you build and leverage your business, to help you generate leads that you're going to close. And then again, like you said, at that point, as just a small team with a bunch of inbound leads, there was some frustration with just all the work that goes into actually following up those leads, because these aren't your friends and family anymore. These aren't the people that were just referred straight to you. So there's a long nurturing and incubation period. So what were some of the, obviously you said, you reached out to maybe some other call center solutions and they just weren't making enough calls. They weren't making enough texts. So you got launched on rokrbox just about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And so
Right.
you're fresh out the gates, and obviously people say things take time, but let's just talk a little bit about your experience so far, right out of the gates, the first 6-7 weeks. What have been the results so far?
Well, I love the team. First of all, even with just the straight sales, I dealt with Sean.
Mm-hmm.
And when you spend a lot of money and you don't get any return, and right now Calgary has been in a declining market for about 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's not water off a duck's back. You're just like, oh my gosh. But Sean was really understanding. I said to him, like, this is what happened. What are you guys going to do? And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to monitor you, because now I know what I didn't know before.
Yep.
And Commissions Inc. has the whole platform set up so that I really can monitor you guys, and I really did.
Yep. Yeah, because
So,
we're working inside your CINC platform every single day. Yep.
so there's no, Nadine, I call 10 times.
Yeah.
Because I can see.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And so that was phenomenal. I know how to do it. Sean was really lovely with me when I said, listen, I don't know if I have a chip on my shoulder, but I sure am like suspicious.
Uh-huh.
And then Brady, he's lovely too. I called him like on week 3 or 4, and I'm like, hey, Brady, what's going on here? And he's like, Nadine, it's only been 3 weeks. I'm like, I know. You said it would take 3 months,
Uh-huh.
3 to 6 months. And I was like, okay, you did tell me that. But literally that week, you guys started this thing called the warm transfer.
Yep.
Genius.
Yep.
It's not really good. It's genius. So there I am. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning on, I think it was a Saturday. And Austin calls and goes, Nadine, I have a warm transfer for you. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm in my jammies. Yeah. Let me get upstairs and I'll look at this. And he called me 4 times in like 2 days.
That's awesome.
All 4 of them I've booked appointments with. I've already started working with 1. And the other 2 were just like I need to get them pre-approved and find them stuff. But literally it was almost as easy as them knowing me. Like, when someone phones you and says, oh, so-and-so gave me your number.
Yep.
You're like, friends, because you have something in common. It was really like that. So I'm delighted with the warm transfer.
That's great. We're so excited to hear about all those positive results. And obviously, like you'd said, there you are Saturday morning, 10 a.m. in your pajamas, having your phone ring and making money. So it doesn't get better than that, right?
No, it really doesn't. So,
and for those of you who don't know, what she's referring to is, for the past 6 years we've been in business, we've been scrubbing internet leads, and our time to first call is the absolute most important and most effective strategy that we execute every single day. And we do work 100% transparently inside of your CRM. But just recently we rolled out a new feature where we can actually, when we have a hot lead on the phone, we can actually click a couple buttons and have that lead actually warm transferred over to you as the agent. And then in Nadine's case here, she's saying that she actually talked to Austin. Austin's a caller on our team. And so it was actually Austin that handed off the lead. So it wasn't just like a random phone call and then you just started talking to the lead. It was actually, you talked to Austin, he set you up, gave you some prep notes on kind of what their situation was. And then, like you said, as soon as that call connected, you felt like you already knew them and they already knew you, and they were expecting that connection. So that's great.
Yeah, actually I did forget. Yeah, Austin, he tells you what their name is, what they're looking for, what their conversation has been. But one of the most interesting things is that when my phone rings, it rings with my team name.
Uh-huh.
It was like real estate. I'm like, I'm calling me? Like, it was the first time it happened. And so, but instead of it just being like a no-name number,
yep,
it was Dolce Real Estate. And I'm like, wow, that's me calling me. I better answer it.
Yep.
And so, because at 10 o'clock in the morning, when I'm having breakfast and my kids running around and I see just a random number, I don't answer it.
Exactly. Yeah, as you shouldn't.
It just wasn't a good time.
Yep.
So I wouldn't have answered it if you guys didn't label even the phone number. The details is just as important as everything else. Yep.
And so that's the goal, is we want you to know what that number is. So when you have that number ringing, you might want to step outside of breakfast on Saturday morning.
And I can say, oh my gosh, they can't.
Yeah.
But also what else Austin did was he called Alicia and he called me. So he didn't just try once and then give up. He called Alicia twice and then he called me twice, and he was persistent in it.
Yep.
I can't tell you how much I appreciated that.
Yep.
The first time he called, I didn't answer it because I wasn't near my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, oh, it called right again. I better run over and see who it is.
Yep.
So really, without that, I wouldn't have answered the phone.
That's awesome. Well, Nadine, we really appreciate all your insights here. It's always great to actually hear straight from, a client how it's actually making an impact in your life. And obviously, like you said, the process, any type of process in your business, takes 3 to 6 months to see the consistent results pouring in. But in this case, you're always going to see the results from our work immediately. So in this case, immediately you've got live transfers, immediately you've got people in your car, immediately you've got people going through the pre-qualification process. You'll start seeing those closings start pouring in really consistently here in the next couple of months. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, can't wait.
Any words of advice or encouragement or suggestion for anybody who's listening today that might be on the fence about whether or not they think they need rokrbox in their life?
You need rokrbox in your life. It's going to make your life so much easier. And don't go change your mind when I tell you this, but they're relatively inexpensive. But they said that.
Exactly. We won't raise your rates for saying that, Nadine. Yeah. Our goal, as always, is to always put more money in your pocket, not take money out of your pocket, and we want you to look at us as an investment in your business rather than an expense. And
totally. And you are an investment, and we love you guys. And really, if you are thinking about it, choose rokrbox. Because I can tell you, I've used another one and it just wasn't worth it.
And you're even north of the border. We hear from time to time that people are like, oh, well, I'm Canadian. Things are different up here. We're down here in Texas. So we're a long ways away, but we still are able to maintain that teamwork and that handoff and be able to connect with your agents as well, or your team.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for your time, Nadine. I know you got a busy schedule. You got a lot of deals to close and a lot of hot leads to pick up the phone on. So I'll let you go for today, but thanks again for your time. And for our guests, thank you as always for joining us. And we'll see you in the near future with more success stories and tips and strategies to help you convert more deals from your internet leads. Thanks again for watching.